Whether you're from Uptown or Skid Row, welcome to another episode of the Cozy Quilt Cinema. I'm Michelle.
And I'm Beth. Every week we snuggle up on the couch and watch a movie. We share that experience with you, tracing the emotional thread from our first watch to how it resonates with us today. Grab a blanket, settle in, because this is an oldie, but a goodie.
Definitely a goodie. Though I'm still a little butthurt about the ratings on IMDb. Those people who were giving it, like, they would have given it zeros if they could, but you put the effort into reviewing the movie. I'll tell you what the movie is in a minute, but still. And you didn't even bother to look at what this movie was about before you talked shit about it. Okay. This is a movie based on a play, which is based on a movie. It is tongue-in-cheek. It is a horror story, but not really quite a horror story. It's also a musical. We're talking about Little Shop of Horrors from 1986.
Yeah, Seymour Krelborn is a nerdy orphan working at Mushnick's, a flower shop in urban Skid Row. He harbors a crush on fellow co-worker Aubrey Falquar.
Yes, something like that. I don't know. I never saw her last name, so.
And is berated by Mr. Mushnick daily. One day, as Seymour is seeking a new mysterious plant, he finds a very mysterious, unidentified plant, which he calls Audrey 2.
Dadu.
The plant seems to have a craving for blood and soon begins to sing for his supper. Soon enough, Seymour feeds Audrey's sadistic dentist boyfriend to the plant, and later Mushnick for witnessing the death of Audrey's ex. Will Audrey 2 take over the world, or will Seymour and Audrey defeat it? That is by, I love this username, Hannah Montanowitz.
I like that.
It's like the best name ever for a
movie
person,
review.
Well, for a person writing the summary.
Yes.
Yes.
So, let us talk about the people in this movie, because there's a lot to talk about.
Well, before we do that, how did you feel the first time you saw this?
Okay, so I was kiddo. 86. I didn't see it in the theater. I did see it on HBO because that's what we did. 86. I was 13 and going on 14, something like that. And my best friend and I were obsessed with this movie. We would sing it all the time. I loved it from the very first time I saw it. I thought it's not a hysterical movie. It's got its haha moments. It is what it is. It's musical theater brought to life. It's puppets. It's everything I love in a movie. And honestly, I can honestly not believe, I can't remember seeing Rick Moranis in anything before this because I was young and I don't remember. And that doesn't mean I didn't. I'm just saying I can't remember.
Okay.
So
That's
this
fair.
is my first impressions of him. And I love me that nerdy boy. And, Ellen Green and just the music itself. There's just, I don't understand why people wouldn't love this movie. It breaks my brain.
How did you feel?
I loved it. The movie made me feel like happy and joyful, even though it's sadistic, but it's
lightly sadistic.
It's a love story. It is. It's between Seymour and, it's a horror movie. Yes.
It's Raging Bull with plants.
No, but sure. Wasn't that somebody said that? Wasn't that? Yeah. Raging Bull with plants.
You have to have a green thumb to watch this movie. I've got 2 of them, gangrene.
Okay. Oh, yeah. How did it make you feel?
So, I was in a seedy gin joint drinking some rot gut because I was a weathered 16-year-old.
18-year-old?
18-year-old?
Yeah,
was I 18?
Because you were 4 years older than me.
Sure. I don't know. I was a teenager. Yeah. I was an older
No, maybe not. No, you were
teenager.
16. I was 12.
I'm pretty sure I was 16
12.
because that's when I got my license. So
I can't math. I was 12.
But I I was like down on my luck,
On Skid Row?
I'd seen the world, and and I found my way back to Skid Row. No, so it was fine. It was okay.
It's a fun movie.
It was just okay. No, I'm joking. I loved it. I enjoyed the music. I was a big musical nerd.
Mm-hmm.
I loved musicals because I got to see so few of them.
Yeah.
You were in an area in which you got to see musicals.
When I got a bit older, yes.
Sure, but I was in an area in which I was not going to see musicals unless it was from a high school play, and it was always going to be fucking Oklahoma.
Well,
so, Bye Bye Birdie, Oklahoma, yes. The Music Man, Little Shop of Horrors. These plays or these musicals made into movie musicals were kind of the thing that made me most happy.
as sadistic as it is, I always liked Seven Brides for Seven Brothers. But if you break it down, it's really a fucked up movie. But I always liked that movie.
But I really enjoyed the movie. I really loved the fact that I got to see any musical. So I was very happy about this. I don't know that I knew enough about the world then because I did not grow up in a city. I grew up in a small town. It is still hard for me to reconcile that small town kid with city life and the things that people have to go through.
Yeah.
Seeing the woes that are displayed during the movie, mostly towards the first of it.
Yeah, the Skid Row aspect, yeah.
Setting the Skid Row atmosphere. It's hard for me to reconcile because, yes, we had homeless people, but it was a small town.
Yeah.
So you only had maybe one or two that you knew about.
Yeah.
And probably the rest were run out of town, for all I know. But, there's the idea that people live in rundown buildings and that things are barely being held together. Of course, this is in that depression, post-depression era, where they're still trying to come to terms with their economy and everything else, and businesses are still failing.
Yes.
So there is cash to be had, but it's just not trickling down like every president promised. So, yeah, I mean, I really love this movie, but let's talk about the cast.
Okay.
And then we'll get to the meat of this.
Yes.
And by meat, I mean a dentist.
So the infamous Audrey 2 is voiced by Levi Stubbs of the Four Tops.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Such a great job, too. Such a great, just the vocal range and the anime that he brings to it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, even just excluding the fact that we are once again looking at a Jim Henson production masterpiece here, you forget that Audrey 2 is a puppet. I mean, if you don't forget that it's a puppet, then you're obviously not letting the movie do its job.
Yeah, because you get pulled into it.
Yeah.
But let's talk about his works. He was obviously he was the lead singer for the Four Tops. He was the Little Mermaid TV series as King Triton. In Captain N, the Game Master, he was Mother Brain.
Okay.
So those are the highlights.
Okay. So he did a lot of voice work.
Yeah.
Which is good because he has that voice.
It was so fantastic.
So one of my other loves, Rick Moranis, plays Seymour Krelborn.
He was in Ghostbusters, 1984. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, which apparently is a big movie. I did not know that.
Oh my gosh, really?
I didn't know that people enjoyed it.
Yes.
1989. He was in Spaceballs.
Yes, he was.
Which we did. We also did Ghostbusters. We did not do Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Nope.
We did Sugar, I Enlarged the Children.
It's actually Honey, I Blew Up the Baby.
That sounds wrong.
I know, but that's the sequel. The baby gets giant.
But it sounds like they blew him up and killed a baby.
No, I know. It's got a horrible name.
Aw.
Hi, baby girl.
Baby cat.
It's time for her. She has blessed us with her presence.
Yes, and now she's ignoring us.
Yes, that is what she do.
All right. Who is next?
Ellen Green, who plays Audrey Farquaad.
full quad.
Full quad.
I
Okay.
don't know. It's weird, but that is the name that was given.
Yeah, see, I didn't see the name, but then I know there was a name given in the original movie. I didn't realize it passed along.
Going to be one of those things.
Aha.
She was in the original off-Broadway Little Shop of Horrors in 1982.
She originated the role.
And you can tell.
Mm-hmm.
The Adventures of Pete and Pete
Yes!
from 1993 to 1996. I have no idea what that is.
I love The Adventures of Pete and Pete.
And she was in Pushing Daisies in 2007 to 2009.
Yes.
You loved Pushing Daisies.
I did love Pushing Daisies. Pushing Daisies.
Do you know they're trying to bring that back?
Yes, I saw that. I don't know who all is going to be in it, but
I wonder if she's going to return in some way.
She was the aunt, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's just crazy.
I loved that show. And I felt like it ended kind of very abruptly. Hello, child. Goodbye, child. So we have Vincent Gardenia, who believed he got the role because Frank Oz liked his last name. Little Shop of Horrors, Gardenia.
It's actually pronounced Jimmy. So, because Frank Oz didn't know that, he got the job.
Yes.
He was Mr. Mushnick.
Yes, he was.
And he was in
Moonstruck.
From 1987.
He was Cosmo.
Okay, I know I make fun of that movie a lot, mainly because the outrageous, like, over-the-top acting
the Nicolas Cage of it all.
of Nicolas Cage.
My hand!
But I truly love that movie.
Oh, no.
I love it so much because Cher...
It is the quintessential beautiful Cher moment. She is at her prime.
She is stunning.
Oh, Cher! Okay, we need more Cher in our lives.
She makes me want to be a better woman.
Oh, it makes me want to get my hair permed.
I want to be gayer for her.
Oh, my God.
And he was in Death Wish, 1974. Much like Moonstruck, it's a love story. Bang the Drum Slowly, 1973. Not a love story.
Not a love story.
It's about a drum being banged slowly.
Oh,
I don't
it was
know
a sex
anything about
movie
it.
then.
Could be.
He was good at the sex.
Bow,
He's a
chicka,
sex.
bow, bow.
He's what was it in Eurovision last week? He's sex nuts. He's sex nuts. He's gonna
the elves have gone too far.
The elves have always gone too far. So then we have Steve Martin as Orin Cervello, DDS.
Doctor.
Doctor.
He was in The Jerk,
Yes.
1979. And boy, I can't wait till we talk about that movie. My favorite movie of his, Roxanne, 1987.
I thought you were going to say My Blue Heaven, because that's also
No.
Rick Moranis and Steve Martin, which I have a whole thing about that in a minute.
But Roxanne is my favorite movie he has ever done. I love that movie. I've seen it way too many times. My second favorite of his is My Blue Heaven with Rick Moranis, because they're both in it together.
Yes.
And I also have, because we have John Candy in this film as well, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Okay, so I
in which they co-star.
I have a little thing over here I'm going to read in a minute, and it's all of the actors in the movies that they were in together. So,
Okay.
But we have the Greek chorus, which consists of, and I'm probably going to say her name wrong because of all my research, I kept looking at her name going, I got to look up how to pronounce it and then walk away from it. Titania Arnold, who was Crystal.
Right.
Michelle Weeks, who was Ronette. And Tisha Campbell, who was Chiffon. Now, the reason why they are named this is for obvious reasons. And if you don't know the obvious reasons, I will tell you. The Crystals, the Ronettes, and the Chiffons.
Yeah. They were groups.
Mm-hmm.
In which
Groups.
In which they are styled after.
Yes. The early 60s.
Doo-wop.
Yes.
Kind of thing. All right. So, the prominent works for Arnold is Martin from 1992 to 1997. You have to know she's in that.
Yes, but Tisha Campbell is Gina in Martin as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Everybody Hates Chris from 2005 to 2009. The Neighborhood from 2018 to present.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't The Neighborhood with, it has Schmidt from New Girl in it?
Maybe.
I think so. Campbell's prominent works are also Martin, School Days from 1988. You gotta love that.
Yeah, she was an acting fool. This I think was one of her first things she did.
My Wife and Kids from 2001 to 2005. And Week's prominent works are primarily Little Shop of Horrors stage and film performances.
Yes.
That was her thing.
Yes. So, and then for the little one-hit cameos that we have in here, I've got Jim Belushi for Patrick Martin, who appears at the end of the film. I have John Candy, which you mentioned, who plays Wink Wilkerson, the DJ. Bill Murray, who has a cameo in the dentist office as Arthur Denton. I'll get back to that in a minute. Christopher Guest, who is the first customer who sees Audrey in the window. And
what's that strange and interesting
plant?
Or plant, yeah.
And we have Miriam Margolyes, who is the nurse. And the reason why I mention Miriam is because not many people realize that is also Madame Sprout from Harry Potter. So if you know your Harry Potter, if you know your...
You have to be quick, though, because she gets beaten up a lot.
Miriam Margolyes, okay, the bad thing about this is I have seen her in a lot of stuff. And her interviews, she's a tough old broad. Don't get me wrong. Her giving Alan Cumming the shit is bless. I love it. But what I don't like is that she did an autobiography and she said that Steve Martin was very violent with her in those scenes. But everybody who has worked with him in that movie and has since worked with him before and after have all said they don't know where that's coming from because he went out of his way to make sure she didn't get hurt. So,
some people have their own perspective, and maybe she just felt put upon that day.
Maybe.
Or that week, or however long it took.
Yeah. Bill Murray, he's filmed in 2 days, but he ad-libbed so much that when they were putting the scenes together, they had such a hard time trying to make it cohesive.
That they just started using his voice while they aimed at everything else?
I think it got to the point where, all those chocolate lines are just like, that's all they could put together as anything cohesive.
It worked.
And Heather Henson is the girl with the brace, the thing on her face,
right?
In the dentist office, and that is Jim Henson's daughter.
Okay. Let's talk about the director.
Yes,
Frank Oz.
Who
is his prominent works are The Muppets as a performer and creative collaborator across multiple films, Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, and What About Bob?
What about Bob?
Well, I'll tell you about Bob. But it's funny because that will lead into what you're going to talk about, which is all the attachments.
Oh, yes.
To all of these people seem to be attached in some way.
So, yes, What About Bob is with who? I was open that up for you.
Oh, Irving Berlin.
Yes, Irving Berlin. Bill Murray.
Yes, it was Bill Murray.
So,
What About Bill?
What about Bill? So, this is the wicked little web of interwoven parts. So, John Candy and Steve Martin were in Trains, Planes, and Automobiles. We established that, 87. I bounce around timelines.
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
I said that, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Oh, I thought you said Trains, Planes, and Automobiles.
Nope, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
You got to go in order.
I did.
Okay.
Oh, don't start with me. So I am not going in linear time order because that's just not how I wrote it down.
No, that would be crazy.
In 1984, Bill Murray and Rick Moranis were in Ghostbusters. In 1990, Steve Martin and Rick Moranis were in My Blue Heaven. In 85, John Candy and Rick Moranis were in Brewster's Millions. And in 87, Spaceballs. John Candy and Ellen Greene in 1994 were in Wagons East.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of interwoven, oh my God, do these people all know each other? Yes, they do.
And I think they just liked working together.
I think so. But this is unfortunately the only time that Bill Murray and Steve Martin worked together. They've never done a movie since together.
I think I can see that.
Mm-hmm.
Bill Murray is so off the book.
Oh, yeah.
And Steve Martin may seem off the book, but he is very aligned with what he does. He's very, everything has to be in its place.
Yes.
He's very intent on what he's doing.
And I think if he was to do improv, it would definitely be something that he has discussed ahead of time.
Right. He's a planner.
Yeah.
Yeah. He doesn't do off the cuff without practicing that off the cuff.
Exactly.
And that's just the style that he has.
However, this is the second movie in 1 year. In 1986, Steve Martin appeared in 2 movies that had singing plants. Do you know what the other movie was?
I'm trying to think of what it might be. 86? Steve Martin.
Three Amigos. The Singing
The
Bush.
Singing Bush. I didn't really count that, but yes.
I know, it was just in the trivia stuff. I have so many notes. So, like, they wanted Eddie Murphy originally to play Audrey too. I'm glad I can almost hear it, but he would never have been able to hit those notes.
No.
No.
I mean, he's a good singer.
But he
really is.
Levi Stubbs. Okay.
I think Levi gave it that character that it needed.
So while there were a lot of...
I think he just would have been Donkey.
I hate that, but yes, it's true. Now, while a lot of actors were they played with the idea of having them playing Orin Chervello, Tim Curry was one of them, and I can see that.
Okay,
I can actually see that one happening.
That would have been a fun thing to have. Yeah.
So before we go into, because I have so many different little notes here, like. I'll get to it in a minute, but
okay,
I'm like, I don't even know where to start. You know, like you've got all these different things to go and directions to go in. But my clue from last week for this movie was the dental equipment that was used with one actor reappears in another movie later on.
Okay.
So the dental equipment that is used in the scene with Bill Murray reappears in Batman when the Joker is getting his face worked on.
That's right.
The Joker played by Jack Nicholson. Jack Nicholson, who originally played the role with a different name that Bill Murray played, the masochist. So
right.
Bill Murray's masochistic character is Arthur Denton. In the original 1960 movie, the black and white version, which is not a musical, folks, Jack Nicholson plays Wilberforce.
Right.
So
that's crazy.
Isn't that neat? I thought that was a great little bring it back around town kind of thing,
really
you know?
Somebody planned that one out.
I mean, you'd think, or something. Yeah, there's a lot of weird little so the studio that this was all filmed in was actually filmed in, it's called England's Pinewood Studio. At the time, it was the largest studio. And this was actually filmed in the 007 stage. And the song, when they're doing Suddenly Seymour, it was such a big area, they didn't put the heat on. So when they were singing, they would have plumes of condensation coming out of their mouths. So to prevent that, they made them suck on ice cubes in between scenes.
No.
But as my clue from last week was that this actually, it topped at $25 million was invested in this movie. And it beat out Aliens, which came out the same year. And I believe that was 18 million. But here's the fun thing. They were both being filmed in the same studio. So Aliens was actually like right next door. James Remar, I think I'm saying his name right. He is in Aliens. And his prop gun actually had real ammo in it. And he shot it off and it put a hole through the Little Shop of Horrors set. Nobody got hurt. But yes.
The old days.
The old days. Not too old because looking at you, Rust. The movie that could have made Jensen Ackles like amazingly huge outside of TV. And
people died.
People. I mean, I'm not saying. No. I'm just saying. People died. Well, somebody died. I mean, I'm not saying that it was his fault or anybody's fault. Well, we know what happened, but regardless. Okay.
So Little Shop of Horrors is one of those really deceptive movies.
Oh, definitely.
It makes you think it's one thing when it's actually something else. And it really leans into you're about to see a Little Shop of Horrors. Mm-hmm. It's a monster flick.
And even the original wasn't a monster flick. Sure. It was a comedy.
Sure.
Horror.
And this is like a tender story wrapped within a comedy, wrapped within a monster story.
Mm-hmm.
So it's satirical in some ways. It's very camp.
Oh, very
And they
camp.
make sure you understand it's camp by using the Greek chorus
Mm-hmm.
to lead the way. They're your narrator.
They are.
all intents
There is a
and
little
purposes.
bit of a narration in the beginning, but yes, they are the true narrators of the story because they are the Greek chorus.
They lead it through. And beneath that humor and the music, there's this emotional narrative that just runs through it all.
Oh, there's a darkness. Yeah.
Well, it's longing.
Well, yes.
Everybody in this thing is longing for something.
Oh,
they're
yes.
longing for a change, or they're longing for love, or they're longing for a home, or they're longing to not be in the place that they are, or that their place was better,
Mm-hmm.
was the way they either remember it or better than it ever has been for them.
Yes.
And then there's self-worth. It comes up many times,
Mm-hmm.
mainly between Seymour and Audrey.
Yes, and they don't think that either one of them, like they don't think themselves. They have no self-worth.
And they're telling each other that they don't have a sense of self-worth.
Yeah, and then but like they'll sit there and say, you need to be better for yourself, blah blah blah. And then in the next breath tell somebody else, "Oh, well, they're just too good for me."
Right. And it happens though.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when you don't have a lot of self-worth, you look at other people as having so much more than you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not an economy that's sustainable.
Yes.
Emotional economy. You have to have some self-worth in order to love another person.
Mm-hmm.
You might not have to have a lot, but you have to have some.
Oh, definitely.
And Seymour's emotional arc for me is about that yearning for love, for stability, because he's an orphan.
Mm-hmm.
And he's never had parents. He's only had an owner, because he's essentially a slave.
Yeah, and I actually wrote that in my notes. Liz, I never really caught that before because, again, I was younger and didn't really pay too much attention. As I got older, it was more just about listening to the songs, not the actual story, because you know the story, so you don't pay attention to the details. So when he's like, Mr. Mushnick took me from an orphanage and gave me a broom, you're going, okay, so he got him from the orphanage and set him up in the basement of his flower shop. And that's where the kid lived?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that was kind of fucked up. I liked you, Mr. Mushnick, but you kind of got what you deserved.
Well, and, I mean, because he does come off kind of as a almost fatherly figure, he doesn't really get mad at him that much.
No.
Even when he does stuff, he just kind of discounts it, and he's like, you're stop doing that, Seymour, and that's about all he does.
Yeah. I just hate that he says, let's go out to eat, and then he's like, oh, well, then, Audrey can't go because she's going out with Oren, and then he's going to take him out to eat, but no, the plant passes out, literally,
Yeah, so he's not a great guy.
No.
He thinks he is, and that's what sustains him.
Exactly.
But the plant itself that Seymour finds
Mm-hmm.
becomes this kind of toxic opportunity for him to change things.
So are you a Seymour? Are you an Audrey?
I definitely think I'm more Seymour.
Mm-hmm.
Audrey's more of a accepting harm as love,
Yeah.
and Seymour's more of accepting disregard as love.
Yeah, I can see that.
I think I am more of a Seymour in that aspect.
I feel like to a certain degree, I may be a combination. I might be their love child.
So you're the baby at the end?
Yes.
I mean, there's no baby.
There's no baby at the end. There are 2 children at the end, but no.
Yeah.
Well, not at the end, but in her
vision.
somewhere that's green.
Sure. But I think that, that opportunity is much like, it's reminiscent to me
Mm-hmm.
of, when you're in an area like that, when you're in a place that you see no future, of becoming engaged in either a gang or a mob, or something of that nature, you find those things are not necessarily legal, that will help get you out of anything because you're willing to do just about anything to survive. And if you're an orphan and your boss says he's going to close the place down,
yeah, you kind of go out of your way to try to not lose your one job you have, since that's also your home.
right, because you live in the freaking basement. You're already scraping the bottom of the barrel. You really have no place left to go.
Exactly. Yeah, I see that. And, you know, the abuse, I think this might have been one of the first times I ever saw somebody, like a man hit a woman, even though you don't see it on screen. You do kind of see it, but not quite.
The silhouette.
Yeah, the silhouette of it. And I think that was the first time I had ever like seen that, and I've never even seen that in reality. So that kind of fucked with me a little bit. And I think I also kind of pushed that out of my head after that. So when it happened, when we were watching it, I literally wrote abuse. I forgot how abused she was. Like, I remember she had the black eye. I remember she had her arm in the sling. But I didn't, it's like things that you have accepted as part of the story. But when you really think about how abusive Oren is with her, he is such a sadist. And it's like, I mean, I guess you have to be a dentist. No.
Well, I think it depends on how you grew up or how your familial situation was. When I saw it as a kid, it was very stark. It took center role for me. That Steve Martin's character was a lot like my dad.
Yeah.
And except Steve Martin did it with an open hand. My dad did not.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to badmouth my dad. He's dead. There's nothing to be done with that.
No.
But it's always in my head.
Yeah.
I never outgrew that because it's always been there.
Yeah.
The abuse that women go through, that my mother went through, and me as a child went through, and then having to try to protect a grown woman when I'm little from being beaten. And I'm not going to go down a road here, but I understand her outlook.
Yes.
That she keeps going back to him, and it seems foolish, but for her, it's survival.
Yes.
She's not living with someone, she's surviving the relationship.
Oh, yes. Because she knows that if she leaves him, it's going to get worse. And again, she's living in this quote, I mean, it's not even a quote, it's Skid Row, literally Skid Row. It is the bad part of town. It is where the poor people are, where the dregs of society, you know, the way the song goes, it's basically where the shit kind of gets, when the rain comes and washes all the shit away, that's where it all settles.
Yeah. Well, like I said, you have Sesame Street, and then it flows into Skid Row. So everything that's clean about Sesame Street is now in Skid Row. But
you know, you see this, and you see her, and you have to acknowledge that this is all she knows. And it's not to justify his behavior, it's to justify her acceptance of his behavior. And anybody who has ever been abused, I can luckily say that I have never been physically abused like that, but I understand the fear of leaving can be just as deadly.
Absolutely.
And so, especially when you have nowhere to go.
Yeah, I mean, that's very true. When your options are nothing.
Even if you don't, I mean, you may have options, you just don't know what those options are. Or you just cannot, you can't wrap your brain around how those options work for you. They only work for other people. They don't work for you.
I mean, you could literally just walk away, but then you're walking into an unknown.
Exactly.
Which can be scarier than the painful known.
Exactly. So, you know, poor Audrey, she's dealing with the shit, but she is a florist and she knows her business, I guess. You know, she seems to be pretty...
You can definitely tell she's a stage actress.
Yes.
Because her stage mannerisms reflect. Everyone else is
acting.
Very much acting for a movie.
Mm-hmm.
She is acting for the stage.
Yes.
So her hands move. They're exaggerated. everything is slightly exaggerated so that you can see it from the back.
That is something I had. So, I grew up watching TV and movies. So when I started doing theater for the first time, I remember it wasn't my first play, but it was my first play that I had a major part of. And I played Calpurnia in Shakespeare's Caesar. And I am up on this balcony and I am talking about the portents and I am trying to convince Caesar to stay with me. And my director goes, "What the hell are you doing up there?" And I'm like, "I am emoting." I don't know what else. She's like, "No, you got to use your body. You have to you have to be stoic because they were stoics, but you have to use your body to convince Caesar to stay. You have to use your voice. You have to use what the audience can see.
Right.
So if you cannot physically move your arms around, which was, if I'm moving my arms around now, people, they practically had to tie them behind my back because I want to move my arms so much. The only thing I was allowed to do was move my hand up like I'm touching the dream that I had. Like I'm seeing it in front of me. And that's all I was allowed to do. So I had to rely on my voice because I was relying on my face.
Yeah.
So yeah, just, you don't act with your face on stage and you act with your whole body. And it's something that I had to definitely learn. So you see her and she's not only just acting with her face, but she is acting with her whole body. You're right. She's doing it for the people sitting in the back row.
Oh yeah, she's projecting.
Yes. And I love that. I love that.
No, I like it because it's that everybody else is there. Mm-hmm. They're doing their thing, but she is projecting grace.
And she is one of those people, like, I'm not saying that the others weren't doing this, but you notice it with her in movies. And this is the beauty of being an actor. When actors do these things, it just makes me so warm and happy inside. It's when there's a scene going on and they're doing something not related to the scene.
Yeah.
They're talking to somebody, something is going on, and they're, cleaning up or making food, or they're just doing something or they're just walking through and they see something while they're talking to this person and they just fuss with it like you would, like anybody would. Right. And I really appreciate that because, again, that's something that was shown to me in theater.
I don't want to keep talking about what she's doing the whole time, but I do want to point out something else I like is in musicals, this is the thing I noticed because I've watched a lot of musicals made into movies. The thing about musicals and the thing about movies that are made as musicals, there's a difference. You can see them singing in a musical. In movies, they're syncing to it. They're miming the words. She is not. You can tell she's all out singing when she sings.
Yes. Also, in the beginning of the Skid Row song, there's a woman, and I didn't write her name down. I wish I had. I know her last name is Redding. And I reread this after I said it to you because it was wrong what I said. So they believed that Michelle Weeks actually sang that part and that she just lip synced. But she sang it live on the set.
Right.
And that was the last performance that she had before she passed away in 1991.
Oh, okay.
That was the last thing she did. But that was her voice. That was her singing. And a lot of people didn't believe it, but it really was.
Yeah, so you can tell when someone's actually singing or when they're just lip syncing. And I really appreciated that she put out that effort. I don't think she knew another way to do it.
I don't think so either. Because, I mean, if you are a theater child, basically, you had to the part of the acting in musicals is the singing. So when you have to lip sync something, it just feels false.
Well, this was hers.
No, and you can tell. I mean, this is she originated the role on stage, and not in the original movie, but on the stage production.
Which would have been weird because there's no singing.
Now there are songs that don't appear in the movie that are in the play, and vice versa. I don't know the play well enough to say, and there's also an alternate ending that they did. You can find it, I think, in some of the director's cuts, even though Frank Oz kind of just didn't care about it and didn't want to be a part of it. But if you can find the DVDs with the separate ending, it was true to the original movie. I don't know about the play, but regardless, I think the play actually has the original ending from the movie too, and basically they all die, and Audrey too takes over.
Well, it was extremely dark. The ending with Audrey 2 taking over the world, but test audiences hated it.
Yeah.
So they did a happier theatrical ending.
And I would have been pissy with that too, because I like the ending. I like them being happily ever after. I want Seymour to have a happy.
Also, too, did you know that Audrey 2 indirectly influenced the Godzilla franchise?
I did not. I just know that the Audrey 2's lips were modeled after Ellen Green's lips.
I did not know that.
And that at the end, that is not her inside because the puppet was so mechanical that those are fake legs.
Well, yeah.
Well, I thought maybe they made like a little bed in there and she's laying in there and kicking. Because I didn't know.
Yeah.
And that it was actually her legs, but no, they said it was just too dangerous inside of there.
I mean, there'd be no way to really keep that weight up with the way it was suspended.
Well, I mean, if they didn't use the actual talking mechanical one, if they just made one for her to, like I said, lay in and kick her legs, but
that was probably easier this way.
Yes, I think
it was. A lot less dangerous.
Definitely.
So yeah, Audrey has low self-esteem. It's a theme that everyone has here for the most part. The ones that don't tend to be the bad guys.
Because arrogance kind of, breeds to, this whole I can do anything and it doesn't matter who I step on along the way.
But she dreams of a simple, safe life. And she talks about this in Somewhere That's Green. But she honestly doesn't believe she deserves that life. She just dreams of it.
Somewhere, yeah. I mean, I love that song because that is such a hearkening to that time that frankly didn't exist.
Sure.
So we live in a time right now where everything is like, back when America was great. It really wasn't, because if you look at this movie, and I'm not saying this is the epitome of it all, but it is the early 60s, and you look at this timeline and this time period, the majority of it takes place in Skid Row, and they're dreaming of a world that does not exist. This commercialized capitalist world where they're in this beautiful cookie cutter house with this beautiful cut lawn that looks like AstroTurf and these beautiful manicured gardens. And she's got Tupperware and she's reading Better Homes and Gardens and she's looking like Donna Reed. And this is all TV stuff.
It is the American dream as brought to you by.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because it didn't exist. Anybody whose parents or grandparents lived that way, they were rich.
And
they weren't living the American dream.
But that was the privilege of living that way. And the privilege of living that way often broke many people trying to live that way. It's a dream that was promised that was never going to be realized by 99% of Americans.
So again, I'm going to refer to a movie that we will probably never cover because, but in the movie Great Balls of Fire, Winona Ryder, yeah, exactly. So Winona Ryder is playing the 14-year-old cousin wife of what's his face,
sister brother,
yeah, of what's his face,
Jerry
Lee Lewis, and I'm not going to talk about the fact that he was, however many years her senior and again, her cousin, but she was 14 years old when they got married. And I just remember the scene in the movie with she's like getting her appliances for her kitchen and it's everything pink. Everything is pink. And she's got the pink refrigerator and the pink counters and the pink stove and the whole house is pink. And because she had money and she wanted the quote unquote magazine life, what she was seeing in those magazine ads Did she know how to cook? Did she know how to run that household? No, because she was 14 fucking years old.
But that's the indoctrination of the American
Yes.
dream.
Yes.
And that's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
You're told, be a patriot.
Yes.
Be, you're better because you're who you are.
Yes.
Because you look a certain way, you're better.
Mm-hmm.
And because you have money,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's yours or your husband's, because then she couldn't have anything. First of all, she wasn't of legal age to own anything.
No.
And also women couldn't own things.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. What was the legal age in Memphis or in Tennessee? Because, I mean, that's where they were. They were right down the road
16.
from 16.
I mean, then who knows?
Yeah, I don't
Maybe
know what it was.
14.
I know people were put off by it,
There's
but
still
not
child
enough.
marriages today
Oh, yeah.
in the States, and I don't know which states, but I'm sure they're in red states.
Oh, definitely. No, and I'm not saying it was legal. I'm just saying, because even if it was legal, people were still looking down upon it at the time, too.
Oh, sure.
It's just this fairy tale. And that is what Audrey is doing, is she's looking through these magazines and she's living this life in a city that's dark and dingy and dirty. And she's looking at these beautiful, pristine houses and all this clean appliances. And she wants that life. We all want that beautiful life to a certain degree.
It's escapism for her. It's not really that she's going to get it or that she really wants it.
Mm-hmm.
It's an escape. It is something to dream of. Like when someone says, think of your happy place. Well, you're not thinking of the place you're normally at,
No.
for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
Some people do. Some people are in their happy place.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people will think of a scene that has nothing to do with where they're living because it's not there.
Yeah.
It's always greener on the other side.
Yes, which is the whole point of somewhere that's green, regardless of the fact that, yes, she's also talking about living in not country, but a suburb where things are green, as opposed to living in a city, but it is that whole grass is greener on the other side, play of words. Honestly, I've never lived in a brand new home. I've always lived in pretty old houses, and currently we live in a pretty damn old house. And I love that every room is a different color. I love that nothing really matches, and it's our eclectic taste. But every once in a while, I see these houses that are brand new, and they've got those beautiful streamlined, appliances and counters and furniture, and I'm going, there's that nice warm tingly feeling in me of the cleanliness of it. And I also go, Michelle, you know yourself, you're going to paint those walls within a couple months, and you're going to also leave doom piles everywhere. So why are you even looking at that?
I mean, that's true. But it's not bad to have those dreams.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay to have them, especially because sometimes you just need to escape where you're at in your head for a little while. For Audrey, it is more intense.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's living in a very undesirable way. And
True.
she's essentially a captor.
Mm-hmm.
She's being held against her will.
Yes.
And she has to keep pretending she's enjoying this because what else is there for her?
Yes.
And so I mean, we can keep going on about this. It's very much a central theme.
Oh, definitely.
Of the movie.
Yes. Because you have abuse on so many different levels. There's the abuse of Audrey, the abuse given, from Orrin, the abuse of Seymour, just from the slave labor aspect of it. There's the abuse of Audrey too towards Seymour when Seymour discovers that Audrey too needs blood. There's the abuse of Audrey too towards Seymour to get more food, more human parts. There is the weird twist. Orrin is such a sadist, but when he meets Arthur, the masochist, he can't deal with that.
No, because he's enjoying it and he wants the pain.
Yeah, he wants somebody who's gonna cringe and cry from the pain. He wants to hurt somebody, and he's met with the person who is literally getting off on the pain.
Oh yeah, he does not like that.
No.
So there's a cost to desire, and I think it plays out in a couple of different ways in this film. In one way is very much the central aspect, which is Seymour
Mm-hmm.
selling off a part of his soul by helping Audrey too.
Yes.
Because while he does not kill him, he does some immoral things.
Yes, he was gonna kill Oren, but Oren kind of inadvertently killed himself.
He did indeed help kill Munchkin.
Mushnik. Mr. Mushnik.
I don't know why I keep doing that. Mushnik.
Yes.
He did help kill him.
Yes.
Although he didn't directly do it, he was still present. He didn't stop it.
He didn't stop it from happening.
So there is a cost there. And then there is also the other cost of desire, which is with, again, Audrey,
Mm-hmm.
who takes a pummeling to feel wanted.
Yes.
You know, that is something that she continues to endure.
Yes. Way to take a fun movie and bring it all
I'm
down.
sorry.
No, I'm doing the same thing. I'm doing the same damn thing. It's just funny that, it is a fun movie. Don't get us wrong. If you've never seen it, don't take it seriously. It's a hokey, campy romp, but it is a fun movie.
But there are serious themes within it. And it didn't spoil it for me,
No.
even though I have it foremost in my mind that there's these abuses happening. And they're not enjoyable.
Mm-mm.
They make me very angry. But when you're a person who has lived through abuse, you still laugh. You don't just live your entire life upset.
No.
That's like saying, well, because you're grieving, you should never laugh or smile. You're going to do that. We don't just live in one emotion. No one lives that way. So you're going to laugh. We were at my father's funeral and my mother's funeral, and we laughed at some points because
that's part of healing, and it's still part of life.
You just don't live in one emotion.
No.
We live in a myriad of emotions. We are a rainbow of emotions.
Oh, yeah.
And we're living them all at one time. Some peak out more than others, and that's when you see the result.
Well, and also the two people who are causing the abuse towards Seymour and Audrey get their comeuppance. They die.
Oh, absolutely.
And then eventually, so does the plant. Ish. I'm going to say ish.
So Seymour and Audrey are killers.
Well, at least Seymour is.
No, anyone who goes after them dies.
Yeah, but they weren't. But Audrey did not know that Seymour killed Oren Mr. Mushnik.
That's how good she is. She didn't even know she killed him.
Murder spouses. It's almost as good as, the murder husbands in fan fiction.
But we have a lot of capitalism is thrown into this as well as part of the camp, is that you can fail upwards pretty easily.
Yes.
You just have to have a dream and a plant that's willing to eat people.
Oh, yeah. And obviously it is Audrey, too, that is the reason why they are successful. And Audrey, too, calls them out on that. They're like, this is all about me. I got this all for you. You wanted it to be known. You wanted the radio stations, and you wanted the money, and you wanted the privilege of it all. That's me. I brought that to you from outer space.
So every time I see this movie, I'm always upset by Audrey 2's discussion in that aspect where he's saying, I did all this. I was masterminding it the whole time. Screw you. And I'm like, you were such a cute little plant. Why couldn't you just be nice?
Okay, I feel the same way about our cat. She's sleeping behind us. She's my baby.
She's never done anything
I
wrong.
found her at 2 weeks old in our field, screaming her little head off. I wiped her little booty. I got all the claw marks because she never liked her booty wiped. I fed her. I held her. I took her to the vet. You know what that little bitch does now? If I even look at her sideways, she bites the living fire out of me. Mean, but I love her.
Sweetie pie.
I love her so much, but she's an asshole. So yeah, no, I get that.
So I just feel betrayed. It does a really good job of making you feel betrayed by the way that Audrey 2 acts midway through the movie. And I'm like, But you could have been such a nice little friend. Why couldn't you just be a friend? You're thinking it's going to be Charlotte's Web, and Charlotte's actually going to bundle you up and eat you.
Yes. So I have another question for you. How did you feel about the plant guy?
The plant guy?
So I am in this point of the movie is a comedy. It is not meant to be serious. But there's a scene when he's talking about the total eclipse of the sun, when he finds Audrey too, and he goes to the plant store, and Mr. Wong, I think is what his name is. That is very
where he bought it.
Yes. So
it's extremely racist.
That's what I was thinking, but then I was like, well, maybe because it's 60s feel about it, maybe that was the way it was accepted for for somebody from China to still dress. But then I'm like, no, they would no.
I mean, I don't know if they did or not, but I kind of doubt it.
I kind of doubt it,
and I seriously doubt that other people dressing up in their,
because the chorus did the same thing. They had on the
and also the the Chinese guy is obviously going to sell him a plant he didn't own.
Yeah, he's going to sell him an exotic plant because why would it's going to come from the exotic worlds of Asia.
But he didn't own it.
He didn't own it, but he still sold it to him for $1.70.
But that's the thing is he cheated him by selling him a plant he didn't actually own.
Mm-hmm.
It's all very, it's a very and I think it is part of the film is this is how people are treated.
Yes.
We have a lot of abuses here, and one of those is that
racism,
casual racism.
Yes,
not just racism, but unacknowledged casual racism.
Yes. Now, I mean, we'll talk about it when we do Castellini, but I do think that it is a very broad cast. I mean, none of the mains are people of color other than the chorus.
It's a broadcast in the sense that they certainly use people of color
as people who are poor,
ancillary characters, and they are always the underdogs in every situation. Sure, or they're a supporting role of some kind. Here's my thing: if you find that a character that you have is a person of color or a marginalized person of some kind, like LGBTQ or disabled, and they are carrying all the water for your characters, that is bad.
Yes.
That is an abuse of that person. No one should be carrying water for your characters.
No.
Your characters should be carrying the water for others. Now, unless you want them to be the bad guy.
Yes, which, I mean, so Levi Stubbs playing Audrey too. You can sit there and go, well, the only black man in the main cast is actually just his voice. But then he's also, you have Audrey too, which is doing the mannerisms and affectation of a black man in speech.
Right.
But then you have to say, but they're from outer space. So what do they know of any of this? Because it's a plant. And there's actually no black people in the whole main of the cast. So you can sit there. It's this fine line of wibble wobble.
That's speaking to that alienation of you're not from this land.
Yeah. And so again, it's that wibble wobble of what you know and what the characters know. And either way, it's not a good thing.
But I think that was intended.
Oh, yeah. Because you have this, I
don't think that was unintended and it just kind of seeped in. I think they purposely did this as part of
I don't see Frank Oz as being, and I could be wrong, I don't know a man personally, but I don't think he's a racist individual. I just think that he's...
Well, I don't think he wrote it or cast it.
I mean, he did have some in there. He did have his fingers involved in some of it.
Sure, but I don't think he wrote the film and he didn't cast it. He probably approved a lot of them, but it was probably due to ability. And this was probably very purposeful that they had the Greek chorus being the three black women who are going to lead the narrative because they are primarily what you think of in that area.
Yes.
There are going to be marginalized people there.
Yeah.
But they are outside of it. They are, as you pointed out to me, and I never caught this before, I was always outraged at these girls, these women, who are in these nice dresses and with their hair done and everything. And they're
And
in
if you know
rain.
if you know any black women out there, and this is not me being racist, this is from every black woman I have known my whole entire life. They don't get their hair wet. No, when there's hair washing days, but out in the rain, oh no, that shit's, especially when you got your hair pressed.
I don't know. I'm not going to comment on that, but
if they got their hair pressed, they don't want their hair getting wet. That's a lot of money.
But I was always outraged that they would put them in that position where they would get wet.
Mm-hmm.
And then you pointed out to me they actually don't. They made sure they weren't wet.
Yes.
So while they're in the rain, they're not actually getting wet.
Yeah, their skin is not wet. Nothing about them.
I was like, oh, okay. So they're literally outside.
They are outside the film. So originally, Frank Oz wanted them to have spotlights on them every time they appeared, but it became too much of a problem to get them lit right. And they were actually supposed to be involved in the dentist song, but it was actually disrupting the whole flow
of it. Yeah.
And it would just get in the way because it wasn't a very big area.
I tell you what I like is when they come out of the darkness in the alley.
And then they're like,
that is like that Greek muse where they just kind of like fade in to like push the narrative.
Yes.
And then fade back out.
And then right before the Skid Row song is when they're actually playing other characters.
Right. They changed.
But they're still Ronette, they're still Crystal, and they're still Chiffon because that's when you learn their names. But they're playing girls from the block and not the chorus at that moment. Well, that's
when they're in the movie. They're affected by the things that happen. But then there's the narrative them, which is outside of that.
Yeah. I like that. Like, shouldn't you be in school? I'm in a split session. I split. There's a lot. I just friggin' love this movie.
Well, there's a lot to it. And I think that it's going to be hard to break down any one thing and hit everything else.
Oh, yeah.
And we're trying, but I think there's just too many pieces to this.
There really is.
You have fate versus agency.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, you have the fate of where everyone sees their lives going,
mm-hmm.
and the complete lack of agency
when Audrey 2
is, and Audrey 2 becomes that spirit of change,
but also takes
in the
away
worst fucking way
because it also takes away their autonomy and their choice because Audrey 2 is basically influencing them into the direction.
But that's how the American dream works.
Yeah.
You think you have agency, but you never really did have agency.
No.
You just got trapped, and this is that capitalism thing, spirit of the capitalism that's here as well, is that you are trapped,
mm-hmm.
and you think you're making a difference, but you're just in a different cage.
Yep.
So at the end, when they're in this really nice cookie cutter house, and you can be happy for them, but they're in a different cage now.
Yeah. And then it pans down and there's a little tiny Audrey 2 again, possibly Audrey 3, or one of the other little buds. And you see that, which makes me think that it wasn't fate that he found Audrey 2 after the eclipse. It's almost like Audrey picked Seymour.
Right.
And keeps picking Seymour.
I just think that I think the movie is pushing the idea that you don't really, you feel you have agency, but you really don't, because
mm-hmm.
it comes down to fate. And you have very little ability to change the things that happen to you,
mm-hmm.
but you have the idea that you have it.
Yes.
So we keep persevering because we believe we have choice. But there really is no choice. There's only going forward. Now, you can make random choices, but is it still your choice, or was that designed for you?
Exactly. Sometimes the choices that we make are really not choices. They're just designed to be those. You're getting. It's kind of like what I do with my littles, because you want children to have this powerful the empowerment of making choice, but you give them two choices that you want them to do. We're either going to do this work over here, or we're going to color this picture over here. Either way, they're still learning the lesson, but they get a choice of how they're going to do it. You know?
Well, yeah, but I mean,
I'm in control.
I think this whole theme that I know it seems like I'm pulling it out of thin air.
No, you're not.
But if you have a Greek chorus,
you got a tragedy.
You have to look at the fact that there's three of them.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the fates.
Oh, yes.
So it makes sense that fate
And
plays into this whole thing.
what I also appreciate is the fact that they are 3 black ladies. Yes, but they are all distinctly different. So Michelle Weeks is a little bit on the chunkier side. She's got a gap in her teeth. She's not the traditional beauty as the other two. You have T'China. She's got, regular, beautiful black features, but she is just what I picture as a, typical black woman. And then you have Tisha Campbell, who has very, very light skin. She is, unfortunately, in a lot of cultures, kind of focused out because of her light skin. But you have 3 different models of black women here. You have 3 different flavors, and there are multiple different flavors, but at least you get 3 different looks. So they're not cookie cutters of each other. It's once again, you're getting the 3 fates, which were 3 different women.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like you said, the fates, and that made me think of that there are 3 different women, 3 different aspects right there. You didn't have 3 women who, they dress alike, but they're still 3 individual women.
Was that a necessity for the fates?
Well, the fates were always 3 different women. And,
Sure.
And it was the mother, the crone, the mother,
it's much like the fae. You have the elder, who is the crone, you have the
maiden,
adult,
and
or the maiden,
the mother,
yeah.
So that when you mentioned it, that was the first thing that popped into my head was, each of these women look different, and that's kind of, they have their own flavor. Even like when their hairs never match, like either, like they'll have the same idea of a hairstyle, but they all have it done in different ways. So while they're still wearing, again, the same clothes, I don't know. It's just the same. It's just what just popped into my head was that they are slightly different. And again, it's completely irrelevant. It's just what struck me. Okay, so before we go into Castellini, because I know we are cutting it on time, but I really, really wanted to talk about the songs. So the first song, Skid Row. It's not the first song, but it is. It is in a way.
It's not, but it is. You'll just have to deal with it.
But no, what I'm saying is so it has this upbeat, downtown, da, 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 and you're listening to it and you're going, it's a kind of a boppy thing. You're happy. They're going, no, listen to the fucking lyrics. It's horrifying because it's talking about being on Skid Row and the darkness and the shit that they have to deal with.
They're showing you this.
They're showing it to you, but there's just this, it's that deceptive, because of the way the music, and that happens a lot in this movie, is you have these songs that are just, they're catchy. They
sound happy, but they're not.
And they catch you and they bring you in. But my whole point of this thing, bring up the songs, is Mean Green Mother from Outer Space. I know Alan Menken was a little bit pissy because his songs were not chosen as Oscar songs, nominated songs. But Alan could sit down and just take a seat for a minute because he's going to kick ass when The Little Mermaid comes out in a few years. Okay. But with this was the very first Oscar-nominated song that had bad words in it.
Well, Audrey too, had a foul mouth.
Foul mouth, as if it was raised by me.
I know. Who the hell was teaching him?
I don't even say tough titty much.
Well,
because if I started saying tough titty all the time, I'd say it in my classroom and I would actually get in trouble for that because it would slip out of my mouth not thinking about it.
You said it twice in 10 seconds.
I know. Now it's a problem. Tough titty. So
3 times.
And he does say shit twice. Once in the song and then at his final zappening.
Okay. So anything else about the songs?
No, that was pretty much it.
Okay.
I mean, probably have more, but Suddenly Seymour is my jam though.
I mean, it is. We'll go over that in the Castellini.
Well, the reason why I liked it was because I like to try to, I would always fight to hit her range, and I can't. I don't have her range. But if I go outside and start singing that at the top of my lungs, I'm hitting those notes.
Okay. So the Castellini test, we're going to see how this movie looks to feminism.
Yeah, it's going to be a problem.
There have to be at least 2 named women characters with at least 5 lines of dialogue each. Good luck.
Well, this is a squinting sideways type of moment here. You've got your 3 fate, the chorus, the Greek chorus, and you have Audrey.
Okay, I guess we can do that. I mean, they're
named, and they do have 5 lines at least.
but I think they're gods. No, okay.
Okay, but
it's
either
fine.
way, let's put it this way: they may have five lines together.
They are women. They are characters.
Yes,
that is fine. Those characters must have a conversation, not necessarily with the other woman, either not about their partner or with their partner, future or current, and not about their relationship.
So Audrey does talk to Seymour and Mr. Mushnick about things that are not Oren. Yes, she does talk about Oren
Very
a lot.
limited. It's a very limited amount.
But they talk about...
again, you're saved by the Greek chorus.
Yes, and they do talk about the, Audrey too, but I don't really think that... Audrey does talk with... it's about her relationship, but in a way, she does tell Seymour about her, upbringing, why she is with Oren. Not
sure, but it's still about the relationship.
It is, but
again, you're saved by the Greek chorus again, because they have a whole conversation that has nothing to do about relationships.
That's true.
When they're in movie mode,
when they're not in as the chorus at some
right human mode. We'll
yes.
say that. At least one of the women has to be integral to the plot, meaning that if she were written out of the film, it could not reach the same ending.
Well, if we didn't have the Greek chorus, who would tell the story? But if we didn't have Audrey, there would be no reason to have an Audrey too. It would be
there would be no reason for Seymour to try so hard.
Exactly. And while he may have found a plant, he wouldn't have named it Audrey too.
He was only looking for the plant because he was still trying to make something of himself so that he could still be with Audrey.
Yes.
Or at least around her.
Yes.
So, in the weirdest way possible, it passes to Castellini, but we still have two of our own that are additional to see if there's other things we can look at, which is it inclusive and how?
So, again, they do not... movies, man, you just do not hit the, intellectually disabled group of people or physically disabled group of people. You kind of miss that a lot, but
quite a bit. Or they are used in a way that is not positive in any way.
No.
For the most part.
And while it does have a very diverse background cast, it is lacking in foreground cast.
In primaries and even secondaries. The Greek chorus is very much front and center, but they also are not really a part of the film.
No.
They're the narrators to the film. They are still, like I said before, carrying the water of the people that are primaries.
Yeah, so, I mean, we can, if we exclude Levi Stubbs and our Greek chorus, tell me what you see here. Rick Moranis, Vincent Gardenia, Jim Belushi, John Candy, Bill Murray.
Decidedly white.
White cis men, as far as we know.
White cis men at the very least.
Yes. So
you're not going to see, there's no gay representation, no trans representation.
The only thing, and I read this and I kind of ignored it because it was a throwaway comment, was somebody had said something along the lines of, is Audrey too male? Audrey too never says male or female, and they are a plant. Which can be male and female.
They're an alien plant.
Yes. So
or an alien plant life.
And plants can carry both male and female attributes, and having a female name
you would have to in order to have those pods that are alive.
And having a female name bestowed upon it does not necessarily mean that it is female, but also just because it has a male voice does not mean that it is male. So is it intersexed or is it transgender? So that was like a throwaway thing.
It's not transgender
because
no one gave it a gender to begin with. Yes.
No. Well, in a way, Seymour did by naming it Audrey too.
Well, it's just a
and
name,
with the assumption of, though he does say little guy at one point, he still refers to her or to the plant as Audrey too, which is feminine name bestowed upon, and decidedly saying.
But it's much like giving a car a feminine name. It's not a female car. You just gave it a feminine name because it made you feel better.
Okay, my car is a girl. Pearl, she is what she is. Okay, I love her.
Yeah. So it is not inclusive.
No, it's not. But
for
that
the
was
most
just
part, it is not.
Little side thing I had read, and I just didn't take it very serious.
How does it rate when put against Tremors?
Ooh. Well, she ain't no Tremors, but see, this is where I have an issue because this is such a good movie, and it's so hard to do it on the Tremors scale because it's kind of like its own category because it's a musical, which oh God, like I couldn't. See, we weren't doing the scale when we did Chicago. So
we aren't really doing a scale now.
No, we're not.
But
really.
we'll do random things like 2 thumbs up and then 5 stars. And
yeah, true. So I'm gonna.
How many doorbells? I don't know. We're just giving it random things. There's no real scale. Just how does it rate?
So
do you think it's equivalent? Do you think it's getting there? Do you think it's not anywhere close and it's not going to ever reach Tremors?
So if it had a more diverse cast, I would say it is Tremors level. But because it does not have a diverse cast of mains and showing people who are disabled in some way, shape, or form, it does have age, though. It does have a lot of elderly people in it because they are the people of Skid Row. So you've got, all sorts of people that way. So I'm going to give it a 9.
Okay, so 9 Jack Skellingtons.
I was going to say 9 Audrey 2 pods.
Okay. I think it's probably more of a 6 for me. Not because it's not a good movie. I enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
I love musicals. This is a good musical. But for me, there's so many things that remove it from the fun.
Yeah. I think I'm blinded by the songs.
Sure. But I think a lot of things remove it from just pure fun for me. I think it's that, like I have a really overly developed sense of justice. It doesn't always make sense.
Mm-hmm.
And it's usually a hindrance in a lot of ways.
Mm-hmm.
And this movie always hits on those. And it always makes me feel bad for having watched it. Even though I love the music and I love the story, I just wish it had more justice in it. There are a lot of injustices and they add up.
True.
And I'm talking about like, especially like with when he bought the plant, when he bought Audrey too, that I was just like, it took me a full like 5 minutes after that to like pay attention again. Cause all I'm thinking about is what kind of racist crap was that just to throw out in the middle of everything? It's that whole like, because it's, from the Orient, it's going to be magical.
Mm-hmm.
Why, it's the same issue I had with Gremlins.
Yeah.
Why did you have to do that? You didn't have to do that at all. If they can magically appear anywhere, they came from outer space. Why did it have to come from?
Yeah.
That? I mean, you could have bought it from a girl selling flowers
on
the side of the street.
You know what my problem with Gremlins is?
The Christmas Story?
The dad dying in the chimney.
Yeah. My problem is he's still in there.
No, actually the big problem is when you get to Gremlins 2 and then somehow she ruins Easter or something, right? Doesn't she like ruin another holiday?
I kind of love that though.
I mean, it's funny. No, don't get me wrong. It is funny because she brings it back around. But yeah, I think
she's the suck.
Yeah, she's the buzzkill of everything.
She sucks out all the fun out of when you're like, oh, it's Easter, and she's like, my mother died on Easter. I don't know what it was.
Yeah, I forget if it was Easter or what it was, but yeah, there was definitely a holiday going on, and it was like, oh, God.
It's like you're afraid to take her to Thanksgiving with friends because she's going to talk about the time that her aunt choked on a turkey.
One of my 4-year-olds actually mentioned to me a few weeks ago, he was like, have you ever seen Gremlins? I watched Gremlins with my dad, and I'm going, baby, you are 4. I couldn't imagine letting my 4-year-olds watch that movie. I mean, and not saying it's scary, but it is for a 4-year-old.
It's a little messed up.
Yeah.
It really is. Especially the dark story about the father.
I don't think he's paying attention to any of that. I think he was just looking at the monsters. Sure. But still, man, that is some creepy ass shit to be showing a 4-year-old.
So we skip this.
Okay.
How do you feel now about this movie?
Well, now I'm bummed out because you pointed down.
I'm so sorry.
No,
has it changed for you? Or is it still the same?
It's still the same. there is a lot wrong with this movie. So yes, me giving it a 9, I am definitely blinded by the songs. But I love the music. I have a lot of good memories to go along with this movie, even though it is problematic at times. It was a part of my life where my best friend, and it was one of those few moments that we were fully in sync. She was one of those people who always wanted more for her, from her life, in a way that she stepped on people to get there.
Yeah.
And that was the only time that, and when we were obsessed with Stand By Me, I think there are 2 moments that we were just nerding out, and she was letting her nerd flag fly. And I don't know where she is today, but I hope she's able to be the person that I remembered her being.
Parks and Rec, where Leslie Knope and
Yes.
her friend, who is
Yes.
played by Parker Posey,
Yes.
they are in the
Yeah,
so
the whole with Eagleton.
we know what we're talking about.
Yes.
Yeah, the Eagleton versus Bonnie.
And where, Leslie knows her as this nerdy girl in sweatshirts that hung out with Leslie. And if you know Leslie Knope is just a big old nerd. And then, Parker Posey's character goes to Eagleton and becomes this, haughty-toddy person with her nose in the air.
Pretending
to be something.
She's not. Yes.
And that was my friend. And she always hung out with people who had more than her. And though her family was digging themselves a great life, they were building it, a life that my family was not building. But it always bothered me that I never fit in with the people that she became friends with, and she would get so mad when I would what she perceived as me embarrassing her.
But you're Leslie Knope in this
I
situation.
am Leslie Knope in the situation.
So you are awesome, and she only got 1 episode.
Yeah, because Leslie Knope is my role model, and I want to be her when I grow up, even if I'm much older than her. But yes, so yeah, that's why I think I have good memories of this movie, is because I had that person in my life, and she was one of my first best friends.
That's valid.
Yeah. I don't make friends very easy, so.
So for me,
Mm-hmm.
it is the same. It hasn't changed.
Mm-hmm.
I still see the same things. I don't think it changes. I don't think the movie is bad. The things that I notice about the movie don't make it bad.
No.
The things I notice about the movie make it the movie. It's always been that for me. It continues to be that for me. I don't think people should go by what I say on whether or not they think this movie is good or bad.
Yeah.
My sense of justice, or my sense of what is right, is not the same as everyone else's. I'm a white trans woman. I have my own outlook on these things.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone else has their own outlook. I may be outraged about something in it that has nothing to do with me. I am not a black woman. I'm not a black cis woman. I do not have their perspective. They may love this film, and my outrage seems silly to them.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. Maybe to people who are, people of color, specifically, someone, like a Chinese person,
Mm-hmm.
which, we're talking about someone from Chinatown. Is that Chinatown where he found the flower?
I think that's where he said.
Yeah. So they may think I'm being silly, and that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you should feel one way or the other.
No.
And I'm not saying that this ruins it, the movie for me. It is something I notice.
Mm-hmm.
It is not something I ignore because it's inconvenient.
Yeah, and for me, it's picking it out where I didn't see it when I was younger. I thought it, it's what it was. Because compared to other movies that are completely white, even the background characters, this was more of a snapshot of the New York that I lived in than anything else I had seen in a long time. And then you throw the songs in there, and you throw the comedy. And one of the people who was reviewing and gave it a shitty review was like, "Oh, and the acting is so bad. And why did these actors choose such odd ways of portraying these characters?" They were chosen to play these roles, knowing that they could pull them off. These roles, yeah. Steve Martin playing a sadistic dentist is not like Steve Martin. And him playing that abusive character, you're not going to see him play that very often. Bill Murray playing a masochist, well, well, you might see that again. I mean, he came back to do this because he had already made so much money off of Ghostbusters that he was retiring. He was walking away from the business, but they keep bringing him back. He keeps coming back because
I think he gets bored.
I think he gets bored.
Actually, I think what he really wanted to do is he wanted to get out of comedy and do serious roles.
Well, he did Razor's Edge, and that was, he really loved doing that.
He wanted to come back to doing that, and he wanted to get those meaty roles. And the only way to do that was to put himself out there again.
That movie that you mentioned today, I kind of want to see with him and Adam Driver and what's her face, Tilda Swinton.
Oh yeah.
I really want to see that now because I A, love Tilda Swinton, B, love Adam Driver, and C, love Bill Murray.
The Dead Don't Die.
That's it. I want to see it.
Yeah.
It probably sucks, but I don't care.
I don't know. It's one of it's. I think it is supposed to be a serious film. I'm not sure.
Oh.
I don't know.
I don't know anything about it. I just know that those three are in it, and that's a win.
I know, and it seems to me like it should be a comedy of some kind,
or at least Moonlight Kingdom-ish.
That's
level.
what I'm thinking. Maybe something like that.
A Wes Anderson type of a thing,
right?
Maybe it is. I don't know. We'll have to look that up. We'll get back to you on that one.
Yeah, so maybe we review that sooner than we think.
Yeah. So let's wrap this up then, and.
That's my cue, folks. I gotta get out of here.
Going. I gotta get something to drink.
She's got the hook. She's dragging me up. Play me off.
Da-do.
No. Diddle-diddle-doo-doo. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know the music for playing. No, that's bringing someone in. That's a circus.
Well, it could be both.
Okay. So, thank you for joining us for Little Shop of Horrors 1986. This has been Cozy Quilt Cinema with Beth and Michelle. We loved having you in our blanket fort as we share the emotional highs and lows that movies can leave lingering within us well after they are over. To keep those feelings going, please follow us on Instagram and Blue Sky at Cozy Quilt Cinema. Or send your feedback and personal reflections to, you guessed it, cozyquiltcinema@gmail.com. You can find our episodes wherever you find finer podcasts. We have smell-alikes, but we are the original. I don't know.
No, I don't know.
No idea. Please consider subscribing, leave a rating, help us grow this community, and please watch your step. It's icy out there.
Yes.
Stay classy, San Diego.
Wrong movie.
Damn.
And if you would like to hear some more of our dulcet tones speaking to you through your headphones, you can check us out over on Folkloric, where we discuss all sorts of crazy crap. I mean, really, it's about the supernatural, the paranormal, the odd.
We try to cover things that other folklore podcasts don't.
Yeah, I mean, we do and we don't.
Part.
So, I mean, we did do Mothman, but then we talked about the...
But he has a shiny butt.
He does have a shiny butt. It's a juicy booty.
Tina would be proud.
Yes. So, yeah, come over to Folkloric and check us out. So here are your clues for next week's episode. All of the actors, except for one, every single one of them are in another movie together. The whole cast but one.
Again?
Yes. So
we just did that.
Yeah, well, that's no. That's a little different because this was like 2 or 3 in different movies. That was more of a web. This is a whole. Okay. This is somebody took a scooper and they scooped everybody out. One fell through the cracks.
I know what it is. I'm giving you the material.
I was going for a really awesome visual of pasta.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes, okay, forget it. So the concert that is featured in this film can actually be seen in whole, as if it was broadcast on TV. You can find it on the DVD.
I did not know that.
Yes.
That's actually cool.
Arlo Guthrie and other folk singers, and this might be the one that gives it all away, but it's okay because nobody ever guesses anyway. And if
I totally want to, I've got to go get that now. I've got to download that. I did not know that existed.
Yes. So in my third clue, and again, this one's going to give it away, but Arlo Guthrie and other folk singers from the 60s wanted to be in this film, but were kind of said no because it is a specific type of movie. And I'm not going to say what specific type of movie it is because that will give it away. But they were afraid that would give it too much gravitas if these actual...
It may be true.
Yeah.
I think that's true, though.
Yeah, well, it is true. I mean, they were told no.
No, I think it's true that would ruin it. I think that this was done very well.
Very well. It is one of many that we will be covering at some point because we love the style, we love the people.
Absolutely.
And
these are some of my favorite.
And we want to say why we're doing it, but we can't say that yet either.
No, we'll talk about that
next week. We just can't say it now because it'll give it away.
Also, I think it deserves the wait.
Oh, definitely.
I think it deserves a moment to stew and for people to come to terms themselves.
Oh, definitely.
And then we can talk about it.
Okay.
That way, we talk about it with calm emotion.
Yes, I am with you on that one. So, friends, folks, and family, until next time.
Love you, bye.
Dadu.
Suddenly, Seymour.
Doctor.
I'm not doing that. I'm going to edit that out. I can't put Seymour in there. I just did a really bad southern
Suddenly, Seymour.
is standing beside me.
Don't need no makeup. Don't have to pretend. Okay.
I didn't mention that is that some of the songs are really horribly misogynistic.
Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, definitely.
I'm not going to put that in either. This is all getting edited out. I just think that's funny. Okay, I love you.
I love you.
Get the fuck off of this podcast. We have things to do.
Come here, Paul. Let's see it. She's evil.
She loves you.
She's
Bye.
evil.
I'm going to leave this alone.
What kind of a weirdo plant is that, Seymour?
I don't know. I think it's some kind of fly trap, but I haven't been able to identify it in any of my books. I gave it my own name, though. I call it an Audrey, too.
After me.
I hope you don't mind.